Right, okay, fan reaction time then. Burnley 3, Millwall 1. And yeah, we deserved to win the match. We deserve to be promoted. I'm absolutely over the moon with the way that the season's gone. I think we've been absolutely superb. Full season unbeaten at Turf Moor. That is superb. Nobody else has done that. In the Championship, I've not seen Burnley ever do that before, and I'm 37, nearly forgot. So it's good to see Burnley go a full season unbeaten at home, and obviously what we're on now, 33 games unbeaten, absolutely superb. And it's a season that, despite there being a lot of negativity at certain parts of the season, especially in the earlier part, I feel like it's one we're all going to look back on with a lot of fondness. Obviously, that's an obvious thing to say, to be fair. But just the way it's ended and the way it's gone, and just the way that the lads have ended up like showing that they are, not that they ever weren't, but just getting it over the line and showing that they are worthy to be in the Premier League next season. This second half of the season, not even the second half, just since that Millwall game in early November, there's been a few 0-0s since then as well, where a few people have lost their heads. I don't think I ever really lost my head, and I always feel like we, should I say, are one of the sort of like calmer pages. We do get fan reactions on from other people that criticise Parker and criticise the players, and I do criticise the players myself. But I always feel like we've been quite level-headed, and I've always felt comfortable that we'd go up, and I'm obviously really happy to see us go up. Also very happy to be proven right. But no, I feel like Parker got a lot of stick earlier in the season, and it's a shame to see certain names on Facebook and certain accounts on Twitter that have just gone silent. Like, they're not praising Scott and the lads now, and it's such a shame. And I know it's not. I know the 99.9% of people who say, get Scott Parker out now. We've lost against Millwall, or we're 1-0 down against Norwich at half time. He needs to go. 99% of the people who said that will now turn around and be like, he proved me wrong. I stand by why I said it at the time, but he proved me wrong. But it's such a shame to see certain accounts and certain people just now go silent. It really is. I'm thinking of a certain account on Twitter, obviously I won't mention it, and a certain person on Facebook, again, I won't mention it. But yeah, superb. 100 points as well for the second season in a row. We have been brilliant this season. There's a cat's cock hair between us and Leeds, and ultimately they deserve to win it because they've won it. That's how the league works. If you're top of the table after a 46-game season, no matter how close it is, if you're top, you deserve to win it. So hats off to Leeds. They've been brilliant. There was a when did we beat someone quite comfortably recently? Not QPR. And I felt like, maybe the gap in terms of goal difference will close a little bit. But obviously they went and stuck 5 past Stoke and then 4 past Bristol City. And then we were never going to catch him, but we were waiting for him to slip up. But credit to them, they deserve it. They've won the league, so you just got to say well done. It's a shame for us. I mean, I've consistently said the same thing, right? And I know some people don't agree with this bit, and that's fine. But I've consistently said, I'm not that bothered about the league. I am not that. But I would rather win it than not, obviously. But I'm not that bothered about not winning it. Some of the lads in the Turfcast chat were saying, what a way to lose a title. I was like, lads, genuinely not arsed. The prize is the same. At the end of the day, we'll both be in the Premier League in August, and that's all that matters. And as I've said already, Leeds have won it because they deserve to win it. You can say what you want about style of play and things like that. I don't personally subscribe to all this nonsense about how there's a right way to play football and all that stuff. But Leeds have been more entertaining, and I think even as a Burnley fan, it's hard to argue against that. So, look, it is what it is. It's typical Leeds, though, isn't it, to do it in the 91st, 92nd minute, whatever it was. It's just so Leeds. How they've been... It's weird, because we were joking, weren't we, not that long ago, that Burnley could 0-0 their way to the title, and it'd be hilarious. Leeds have scored a goal in the last minute of the last game of the season to win the title. And that's what they've done throughout the majority of the season, haven't they? They're scoring late goals and getting it over the line, or just spanking teams. I did think they'd spank Plymouth. But if you're a fan who's there or watching it, it's probably a bit more jubilant to win it the way that they won it. But it is what it is. Look, I'm not going to lose any sleep whatsoever over not losing the title. It would have been nice to win it 3 times in a row. But I think we're the first team in Championship history to get 100-point hauls twice in 2 different seasons. In the Championship, I might be wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments if I am wrong, but I'm 100% adamant with the first team to do it in 2 consecutive seasons. And you've got to take your hat off to Scott Parker. If you criticised him, criticised the lads, you've got to come out and be like, I was wrong. I'm old enough and ugly enough to sit there and say Trafford has proved me wrong from what I said about him last season. It has helped coming down to this level, but he has been absolutely superb, and he's one of, if not, I'm going to say the main reason. I don't think there is a main reason, but one of the main reasons why we are second and on 100 points. Without Trafford, we'll probably lose that game at Millwall, for example. He made some good saves today as well. He made some very good saves at Ellen Road. So there's 3 games already. So yeah, we've been superb. It's a shame that we didn't win the league, but the prize is the same. In August, Burnley and Leeds United will be starting on 0 points in the Premier League, and that is all that matters. Put it this way, Leeds fans just sort of like put a comment on Twitter saying it must be SHIT to get to 100 points and not win the league. And I'm like, I'd rather be on 100 points in second than having to play Bristol City this week, because that's where we could have been if we were finishing third. But yeah, just to talk about the game, I know I've spoke about it briefly on the 60-second review. In fact, before I do, let's get to the shameless plugging. I know, I've started being a YouTuber and doing all these shameless plugs, but on our last video, when I did the fan reaction after the QPR game, I asked for you guys to all like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I needed you to break the record. The record was like 463, something like that. In fact, I don't think it was that. I think it was like 363. We smashed it. We got 492 likes on that QPR game. I said I didn't think you'd do it. And again, I don't think you guys will be able to break the record of 492. But this is the promotion video. This is the last fan reaction you've got to see for at least 2-3 months. So make sure you like it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I've got to 7 minutes already and I'm absolutely waffling. So let's get into it. In terms of the game, Mickey came on, didn't he, and said that they'd score first, and I didn't agree with that, but I felt like Millwall would come at us early on and properly throw the kitchen sink at us because they needed to win that match, and that's exactly what they did. They came at us, they were on the front foot early on. When they scored, you couldn't really argue that they didn't deserve it, but they were... Me and the guy next to me, I don't know his name actually, but he was saying, and I was agreeing, that these are pressing us so high with so much intensity that they're going to tire. He says they'll be dead on the feet after like somewhere in the second half, and I feel like that's exactly what happened. Obviously, we scored pretty much straight after that. Typical Josh Brownhill goal, that, in it, by the way. Ashley Barnes, by the way, superb. I'm not sure that goal gets given in the Prem. Nothing wrong with it, but it was kind of like a bit of a lunging tackle. Won the ball brilliantly. Nothing wrong with it. But the Premier League's a bit soft, isn't it? So, yeah, Ashley Barnes brilliantly for that. And then Brownhill just latches onto it, bends it into the far corner. He absolutely loves that. And then second half, Millwall sort of like started a bit slowly. We were the better side. And by the time we'd gone 2-1 up, we probably should have already been 4-1 up. We were by far the better side at that point. Millwall were knackered, though. They looked dead on their feet, just like me and the guy was saying next to me. I feel like they had put so much into that first half because they needed to win, but unfortunately for them, they were up against an absolute juggernaut in the Championship, and I don't feel like it's arrogant saying that anymore because we've proven over the course of the season, look, we might not have won the league, obviously, but we've got to 100 points. You have to be a very, 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 very good side to be able to get to 100 points. But at that stage, Millwall had put too much into it. They looked absolutely dead on their feet. But we probably should have been more comfortable. That's my only gripe, again, and I feel like I've said that in the majority of the wins that I've done this season, and fan reactions after wins that I've done this season. If we had a proper young, I'm going to say a proper striker, but that's harsh on Barnsley, a proper young, energetic, goal-scoring striker on the pitch, I think we win that very, very, very comfortably. And I feel like the goal difference between us and Leeds would have been a lot closer if we'd have had a proper striker from the start of the season. That's got to be one of the first things we address in the summer. However, we will do plenty of shows and stuff on that over the course of the summer. The podcasts won't stop. Claret's Fan Daily News, whatever it is I called it, I can't remember. I think it was the Daily News. I can't remember. Claret's Daily News. That will be back during the next few days. It'll start. Sorry, getting loads of messages here. And yeah, the channel will keep going. But yeah. Thank you, everybody who's watched throughout the course of the season. I'm buzzing that it's ended up being a positive season. I'm not going to lie, sometimes when you're getting tanked every single week, as much as I love doing this, and it would be the best thing in the world to be able to do this a bit more full time. Last season were hard work. Coming here, sitting, doing the fan reactions, then talking about it with the lads, people commenting saying, "Oh, all you lot do is mourn." Well, yeah, because we're getting beat every week. What do you want from me? But yeah, I'm buzzing that we've turned it around. I'm buzzing that we've bounced straight back to the Premier League again. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you to everybody who's listened to the podcasts, and yeah, I'm hoping Premier League eyes on the channel next year help us grow that little bit further as well. Obviously, we've just recently gone past 5,000 subs on YouTube. So thank you for that. We've just gone past 50k on Facebook, by the way. That is huge. I wish we had 50k on. If we had 50k on YouTube, I would genuinely not have to go to work. It's just annoying that the 50k is on Facebook and not on YouTube. But yeah, I'm waffling again. But listen. Thank you to everybody who's, even if you've just watched 1 second of a show and gone, this guy's an idiot, swipe away. Like, genuinely thank you. Everybody who's watched over the course of the year. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be doing content over the summer. I'm obviously be doing a full-time show tomorrow. I've not confirmed with the lads yet, probably 6. In fact, speaking about the lads, I've just had a message off Andrew, so that might be his fan reaction. But it's 7:15. The game finished at, 2:30, and I've had no fan reactions yet. I think Andrew just sent one, so maybe there is that one. So there might just be this one on the channel this week, everybody. Fingers crossed, obviously. I've asked Nathan, I've asked Chris, I've asked Tom, I've asked Josh. Sam don't do them. Fingers crossed we'll get Sam on the show tomorrow. I won't hold your breath, though. But yeah, thank you to everybody watching over the course of the season. Fingers crossed next season it's a positive one, but obviously it's going to be tough. But if we finish 17th next season, that is a success. But yeah, obviously full-time show tomorrow. I'll do man of the matches and stuff in there, but there was a few people that played very well today. Thought Browner was excellent, obviously getting 2 goals. He'll probably get the who scored one or whatever and be in the championship team of the week. Hannibal was excellent. Anthony was excellent until he was shooting. Edwards, and I saw a lot of people criticising Edwards. He was good until his final ball. A bit like Oleeee. But there were so many times where he beat like 3, 4, 5 men and then he just wouldn't release it. But I think overall he played quite well. But if Oleeee played like that today, like Edwards did, he'd be getting so much stick online. Like, final ball. But yeah. The Clarets are in the Premier League. It is a shame we didn't win the league title, as I've said, but the prize is the same. We're in the Premier League next season, so will Leeds United. Fingers crossed we can stay up, or at least make a good fist of it. But get in there, Clarets. Another win. Premier League next season. Premier League again. Ole, ole.